Hey guys, just a quick heads up. This video talks about some heavy stuff that might be upsetting or triggering for some people. If that's the case for you, please take care of yourself and feel free to click away if needed. I've also dropped some hotline numbers and support resources in the description below if you need someone to talk to. Just remember, you're not alone.
Morning. So this morning, well today, well welcome back guys. We've got another veterans episode today. On board with me today I've got Cole, my younger brother Chris, he'll be with the video camera most of the day, and then we got Jeff down the back, which is Colin's brother. So we didn't start this this episode like normal, where we do a bit of a intro before we come out. So we've already come across the bar. We're now just grabbing some live bait. Once we get this live bait all sorted, then we will start heading towards, we're going to troll down towards the cathedrals, because supposedly there's been some Spanish mackerel and wahoo running around where we're going. So we thought we'll give that a go. And then we're going to head down to the same spot we did last time with the veterans, but today's conditions seem a bit better, so we shouldn't be drifting as fast. So, guys, stay tuned. Hope you enjoy the episode, and we'll see you when we get some live bait. Morning guys, so we've grabbed some live bait. We're currently just on a bit of a mission to go for a bit of a trial to see if we can get a mackerel or a wahoo, because supposedly they've been on the bite out here. But
Russ and I came out from board.
we've currently got a deep diver on that one, a 6 metre deep diver. We've got a spoon in the middle, and we've got another 6 metre deep diver on this side. So we've got a bit of a different, range of baits out there. We've got some flying fish, we've got a spoon, and then we've got just a big hulko. Alright, we'll let you know how we go. Hey guys, well we gave trolling a go with no luck. We've just come out to one of our marks, and we're drifting at about 2 knots an hour, so we'll head over to our first drift point, and we've finished getting all our rigs ready. I think we've got some jigs, live bait rigs, some soft plastics. We're going to give everything and anything a go and hope for the best. Alright, hope you enjoy, hope we get some. Guys, we've done, it's what, 11 o'clock now. We've been out for a few hours, had a few hits, nothing too special to bring up to the boat yet, which is a bit upsetting, but it is what it is. Some of the boys are a little bit green, they should have, but they haven't whinged and complained, so that's the best thing about it. So guys, hopefully on this next drift we can get something. Finally, we got one on the board. Beautiful little blue bone tusky. So hopefully we can get some more. Well, we've got one on the board guys, so that means it's time for a nice beer. And the guys wanted to drink this brownish stuff, not my favourite, but we'll give it a go. Little squire. Little squire, guys. There he is. Little squire again. Chris. Got my snapper. Oh, that is a solid pearly. What's that? Look at him.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a special goggle-eyed.
Oh, goggle-eyed one.
Pearl
Yeah.
perch.
Got really good eyesight.
I was doing all my fishing photos, I'm never smiling.
That's alright, usually. That's alright, the fish is.
That is a fucking nice bird.
Worth going back down for or what?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we haven't even got to the mark yet. Hi guys, it's that time in the episode that we get to learn a little bit about the veterans that are on board. Just wait a sec. Sorry guys, I'm watching my rod at the same time as talking to you guys because you know you never can, as you guys seen in that bass video, then when Chris went overboard, I don't stop fishing for shit. So, but
He just called you.
Chris went overboard.
yeah, Chris went overboard in the kayak, mate, and I didn't even stop trolling. I kept fishing until I got there, and then he went, "There's a lure near my head." Yeah, there was. Alright. So guys, first of all today we're going to be, we've got a brother combo, which is pretty unbelievable because myself and my brother were also both in the army, and so are the lovely gentlemen that are on today.
Who?
Jeff, mine.
Nah, it's gone.
That's gone.
The circle hook. If it hooks itself, it's on.
And then and both Jeff and Colin are both brothers. So first of all, guys, we're gonna have a I'll ask Col all his questions, and then a bit later on we'll do Jeff as well. So
Yeah,
Alright,
let's
guys.
do Jeff.
nah, we do Col first because Col's been green all day. He matches his shirt. Oh no. Well, clearly your name's Colin, so we've established that part. But how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm the older brother, so older than Jeff.
So how old's that?
He's 60?
59. So you're 63.
Yeah, that'll do. Close enough.
We'll find out the real answer a bit later on.
67.
So tell us a bit about. So where were you born?
Ipswich.
Ipswich.
Just down the road here.
Okay, cool.
The
So,
whole lot of us were born there, right?
huh?
Except Sandy.
Five of them, except Sandy.
And what, like, when you look back, like, what made you want to join the Defence Force?
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just post Vietnam. I had an uncle in the army, in army engineers at that time, and it was piqued my interest, you know.
And you joined, you followed the best corps out there. So guys, I'm biased as shit when it goes to this. So like there's Army, there's Air Force, there's Navy, but the best corps out there was always, you know, Army. Jeff will probably disagree, but
Well,
Coles,
if I can tell you a boring story.
yeah, mate,
Yeah.
go for gold.
My dad said, My friend is the officer in charge of recruiting in Sydney, in Castlereagh Street Recruiting Centre in Sydney.
Yeah.
Friends report. So I went in there and saw him, and he laid out my entire career for me. All right,
Yeah.
and then said, "You can come in next October." So that was about 11 months away. And I said to him, "But I want a job now." And he said, "Oh well, next October you can start." So I walked across the corridor into the army. It was a Tuesday, and they said, "Oh, we're doing all the testing today. You can do it now if you want to." And I went, "All right, yeah, there you go."
There you
And
go.
I walked out of there 5 o'clock that afternoon, having signed on the dotted line.
And-
You're in the army now.
And for yourself, like myself, I was infantry. Yourself, you were another corps.
I started off engineers and then RAOC.
Yep.
All right, because I got injured.
Yep.
And
So, like, to the people back home, like, they might know what RAOC means. So, like, what's RAOC? That's Raimi, yeah?
service corps.
Service corps. All right.
Shit, I can't remember.
all
Royal
right.
Australian Army Ordnance Corps. There you go.
All right.
Clarks and Stormont.
All right. And how long did you end up serving for?
I did 19 years and 5 days.
Far out. Did you get any overseas deployments?
A little bit here, a little bit there. You know, really difficult ones like Hawaii and New Zealand. They were really hard to deal with. But
Yeah, that would have been.
He brought me a fish reel back from Hawaii.
So it was like a piss trip, because that's what we did. We went to Germany
no,
for training.
it was like a tourist trip without the piss.
Ah.
The officers pissed up, we did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
anyway, it was good. It was
Oh, that's all right.
2 months of learning how the American Army works. You know.
Yeah, that's what we did when we went to Germany. We were more learning how to use their radios and how they operated, so that as a joint task force we could all work and talk to each other when they guys went over to Afghan, which I didn't do. So if you I'm trying to think out a word. So if you had to pick something, like I look back at my time in the army, and I fucking loved the mateship that you got. I loved the camaraderie. I loved that, you know, I don't have to speak to my mate every single day, but if I rang him, within, 2-3 phone calls, he'd answer. And it would be like we spoke yesterday. I don't know about yourself, you still keep in contact with any of the people that you serve with?
Absolutely, yeah. It's the camaraderie factor that keeps going up for sure. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, no, it would be.
The people I know from then
Yeah,
are the people I've known the longest in my entire life.
that makes sense.
The closeness involved. Good.
Right, just give me 2 seconds. I just need to stand up, stretch my little legs. Oh shit! No, it's over again.
That means he forgot his questions. Is it still running?
Yeah.
He forgot his questions. But that's all right, because now we get to look at his good side.
Yeah, my ass. So, where were you based when you did join? So, like,
I was in Sydney to start with.
yep.
Yeah. After Kapuka, I came back to Sydney, actually.
Yeah.
Did a stint for 2 years, I think, in Sydney, and then 1.5 years up, 2 years up in Canungra.
Yep.
Land warfare centre,
Yep.
where you learn to have warfare with land.
Yep.
Offshore. Yeah. From there, I went to this lovely little village called Kabala.
Where's that?
It's up north of Toowoomba.
Oh, okay.
Just north of Toowoomba, along the plateau there.
Yep.
A lot of secret squirrels do stuff up there. I can't remember who it is. Anyway. Yeah, so I had a drunken 11 months up there. The corporal club was very good.
Yeah. So, what rank did you end up like? So, what rank did you achieve? Like, what was your highest rank, and what did you discharge at?
Well, what I got busted down from, or what I made achieve.
Let's go your highest.
I didn't get busted down. So,
So, what was your highest rank you achieved?
I got way too.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Sorry about the language, guys. That was my mistake.
He said it 1,000 times.
Didn't realise
I
that.
keep saying to him,
I didn't
please.
realise that we had officers in
I politely tell him, please keep your profanity down to a level where, but he doesn't listen.
I just thought it was all diggers on board, but clearly we had a
Well, at the
Away.
time that I got promoted to sergeant, I think I was 23 years and something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was the second youngest sergeant in the entire army at that
Oh,
time.
right.
Yeah. Staff sergeant in 86 and WO 2 and 89. Yeah.
All right. That's when you were born, Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, I am old.
See. Well,
And
now
to-
I've
and
just
to
done.
use- to
Well,
use-
now I've just done the maths.
To
Where
use
like,
his terminology, fucking old.
so if you had to look back, what would you say would be your biggest challenge since leaving the Defence Force? So not like, well, even in the Defence Force, if it was something while you're in, but like, what was your biggest challenge? Like, so for myself, it was dealing with DVA since I've got out. Okay, because no one gets any.
Well, the fortunate or unfortunate part about that is I had no knowledge or real understanding of what DVA stood for on my behalf
Yeah.
until, I lived overseas for 16 years,
Yeah.
until I got back in May last year. And one of the reasons I came back was to try and arrange pensions and all sorts of things. And that's when I found out all this DVA obligation
Yeah.
that I'd been missing out on. So we've been hammering that for the last 10 months, trying to sort
It's
it
not
out.
it's not a very quick process.
No,
They I believe that they should be, the government should give them extra funding so they can put on more staff, so that the veterans out there that are trying to apply for, their white card or their gold card, or to get some benefits or some compensation, or to get treatment, they struggle because there's not enough DVA staff.
Is there any benefit to the fact that a lot of this stuff was initiated 35, 40 years ago, and was recognised back then?
Yeah.
So at least now that's fast, but it's getting up to date. Up to
It's
medical
definitely, it's
advice
definitely
and all
not
that
the
sort of
most enjoyable experience.
thing. So far, it hasn't been painful, just length.
Yeah, extremely lengthy. So, guys, you know what question's coming next? Colin, are you a folder or a scruncher?
Oh shit!
That's exactly what I'm talking
I thought he was
about.
going to ask me to marry him. I thought that's the other
I
question
think
that
my
comes
partner
next.
might get the shits about that one.
So would my wife. I don't know. No, she won't. Yeah, she'll get annoyed.
Scruncher.
Scruncher?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely a scruncher. Yeah, look,
No,
mate,
actually, yes.
yeah, scruncher. Yeah, I was going to say, you look like a scruncher.
I was trying to cover my bases there, but I thought, nah, I'll tell the fucking truth for a change.
I guess, have you, well, the last episode we brought out, and I left it out to the guys, and I said, tell me something, tell me a funny story from when you were in. Like it, they had shit tons, right? Because they're both very different humans, and they served me old man, so if they're anything like me old man, I knew that there was going to be some good laughs. But it doesn't have to be a funny story. It could be something that touches your heart. It could be something that you'd like to share, or something that you struggled with.
You know what? That's a really difficult question to answer.
Yeah.
I think one of the hardest things, and I didn't mention before, I transferred over to the Australian Intelligence Corps in 1980. And I went through the system there for the majority of my career. And probably the hardest thing serving was not being able to share outside work.
Yeah.
And even now, I've got people saying, so what did you do?
And you can't say shit.
Well, yeah, I can now because what do they call it? The Official Secrecy Act has expired. It's 25-year lifespan on the Official Secrecy Act that I signed.
Yeah.
So it's expired now because I've been out for 40 or 35 years something like that. So I just fucking can't remember. There was lots of stuff that I'll never talk about again, sure.
Yeah.
But most of it was pretty boring, but confidential type, sensitive stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what sensitivities still remain as far as us being involved in those sort of things. So,
That's understandable.
yeah, it's not real important anymore to me. You know, I've been away from it for so long. Having met up again with a lot of the old coppers, you know, a lot of them are still involved in the system.
Yeah.
You know, which is good, which is interesting because obviously it's their lifestyle. You know? Just not mine.
No, that's understandable. So you're currently living down. You're living in you're in around Brizzy,
Yep.
in Queensland. What's that?
Nothing. Keep going.
You got one. Oh, you got him. I thought you did because it was rubbing on my back.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
When you like for, I guess, some of the process. So when you joined, right? Because you joined army and you would have went to Kapuka.
When I was 17 years old, yeah.
So 17 is when you joined.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's young.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that is young.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it is.
No, that's.
It
Oh,
was-
I think
That
the
was
youngest.
50 years ago.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was 50 years ago last week
Huh?
that I
So
joined.
67 is what he is. So guys, there's the answer from before. I knew I'd finally get it. He's 67.
I did say
He doesn't
didn't
want
I?
to say his age.
Chris, I did say that, didn't I? That I was 67, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't hear it. So
He's
there you go. I'm
67.
dead. Yeah, your
Fuck
brother's
me.
67.
Fuck.
I didn't realise you were 69.
This is his
But
favourite
look,
number.
guys, I've only met Colin and I met Cole yesterday because we went and had a
Thank you for that, too. It was a good
lunch.
burger.
at David's Cafe, which is Cafe Chitty.
Hey guys, just a quick heads up. This video talks about some heavy stuff that might be upsetting or triggering for some people. If that's the case for you, please take care of yourself and feel free to click away if needed. I've also dropped some hotline numbers and support resources in the description below if you need someone to talk to. Just remember, you're not alone.
Someone's not talking, or mostly me, but people are always having a good chat. The only person that's had a bit of a different to everyone else is Cole. He had a bit of a nap on the way out.
I don't know
I
what
thought you were
another
going to
one.
say Chris the cameraman. He was fucking...
Aye. And good old Chris burlying up the ocean for us.
I want to... Kidnapping, don't worry.
You're not the only one.
I'm not going to sleep with you, though, mate.
Well,
Why
damn.
not? Chris might enjoy that.
I got you, babe.
So this is a good one for you.
This
Cole.
is
So
just
this one will
fantasy.
test your IQ.
Yeah.
No, not really. But if you could go back, what would you tell your younger self? Would you still tell your younger self to join
Yes.
the army?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I do. I have a life lesson for myself. I was very, because of apparent capability, self-admitted self-importance, quick promotion, all that. I was very arrogant,
Yep.
really arrogant. And if I could go back and do it again, I would tell myself, don't be arrogant. Don't be so arrogant. Because I think I offended a lot of people. I think I pissed off a lot of people. I think I did a lot of good things too,
Yeah.
by being hard and go-getter, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I went overboard. I've no doubt about that now, looking back. But at the time, it seemed like the right thing and the right way to be.
Oh, you were only young back then, mate. So how can you know what to do? You've got a lot more life experience now.
Yeah, but my dad is 90 and he says to me now, yeah, but you're only young, you'll learn. You know, I mean, it
That's
never
my
ends.
old boy. He
It's
still
never
calls
ends.
me
It's all
young.
relative. Right?
So, if you had to think of one thing that you miss dearly about the army or being in the defence force, what would that be?
Oh, it comes back to camaraderie.
Camaraderie. It is. It's people don't understand that bond that you get because you're literally putting your hand to your heart and saying, "I'll die for the dude next to me," and you know that could be. It could happen. It could not happen. But you've just got that mateship, and that they don't become blokes or people that you work with. They become brothers, or you know, they're family.
Yeah.
So, no, I get that. But
You know, one of the people that I ran into just late last year
Yeah.
was someone that I hadn't seen for around 1990.
Yeah.
No, I think it was around then, 1990, 1991. And it was like having seen her yesterday.
Yeah.
As soon as we ran into each other, you know, it was like, wow. Wow.
It's amazing that mateship you gain.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's something that I just can't believe that it just happens and people just pay it off, and I'm like, mate, you don't have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
But it's the same with so many of them too. Not just that one. Yeah. So I'd also make a bigger effort to treasure those things back then too.
yeah.
You know, because you don't recognise it until after.
No, you don't. You don't realise how important it is or how special that friendship is. Yeah, and then you're just like, well, they're my mate. Like, don't worry about it. Well, I'm the exact same as you. I wish I probably didn't upset so many people when I was in the army, because I was young. I was a fucking idiot. I made a lot of probably uncharacteristic life choices. I also, struggled a lot with my mental health, and it led me to drink as much as possible, and then I'd make even worse mistakes. So that wasn't always the best. But well, thank you very much for coming out today.
Pleasure,
Thanks for sharing your
Thank
story.
you very much for the invitation and
Hopefully-
the opportunity.
Yeah, no.
You know, this is a once-off thing for me, so it's special in its own right. You know? And the fact that you guys do what you do, you're getting both. And the fact that you guys do what you do, is fantastic, and I hope it grows for you. And becomes a thing, and whatever I can do to sort of help along the way,
Oh, man,
I
I
hope
really-
it is something I can do.
No, I really appreciate that.
Because it's a
Lose
good
it?
thing. It's a good thing that you do there, young fella.
No, it is. Like, like a lot of people all turn around, and they say, you should do this or do that, and I'm like, mate, I don't care about any of that. I just want to take blokes out, let them have a good day, and that's it. And hopefully on this next drift, we might be able to put something a bit bigger in there for you.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be happy anyway.
He'll get a feed.
He'll get a feed. We got enough in there. Dude, you're right. Let's pull this gear in, and we'll go set up the next drift, and then after that drift, I'll have a chat with Jeff.
Yeah. Got a Maori. Nah, no. Oh, good Maori. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a big boy. Nice Maori. That's a solid. Get his guts out. There we go. Jesus. Yeah, nice one. Don't forget to smile.
Photo with your phone too, Chris.
Yep.
Alright guys, so it's nearing the end of the day, and we've just got to do the last interview with Jeff on our last drift, and then we'll head back home. So clearly, his name's Jeff. Jeff, how old are you?
I'm 58.
58, okay.
Yeah.
So you're the younger one.
I'm the youngest. I was youngest of 5.
Oh, okay.
So Cole was the second oldest.
And born out at Ipswich as well?
Yeah, I was, but I sort of was only there till 6 months old.
Yeah.
And really, my first memories as a kid didn't really start till we hit Old Queen Mad.
Yeah. Oh, where'd you go? That's better. No, that's great. Oh, no.
Well, but
See, guys, definitely not a professional.
can vouch for that.
So clearly you weren't the only one that joined. I forgot to ask Colin, but you got your dad, yourself, and Cole all joined the army. All joined the Defence Force.
Yeah. Well, Dad was an apprentice. He was a number
Yep.
3 intake.
Yeah.
And then I ended up joining in as number 36 intake. So it's a
Oh.
bit of a thing where we were both apprentices within the Air Force.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So clearly, you joined the Air Force
Yep.
instead of the Army.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to be.
I applied for both.
Yeah.
And the I was accepted in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So I ended up there, and it wasn't a career choice for me. Like I was in year 10.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old, recruiter came out, and at that stage everything was paper based. So I did the application because that's what my dad did.
Yeah.
And I was accepted, and I had a choice then of whether to take the job in the Air Force or finish my schooling in. And Dad wanted me to go to boarding school, so I had a choice of going to boarding school or going to the Air Force. I was like, oh yeah, well, I might as well go to the Air Force to get paid for it. So,
Exactly.
It wasn't a thing where I was focused on the military. It wasn't a thing where I had a huge interest in aviation or anything like that. But I was capable. I had obviously did well with the testing and that sort of thing. So I ended up just taking it.
Oh, that's cool. So you joined the. So what? Yeah. What was your main, like? What was your role within the Air Force?
I was a technician on the aircraft. So my trade, aircraft mechanical engineering.
Oh, fuck, okay.
Shit. Yeah.
I keep saying it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No. It's nothing special. It's on the avionics side. Initially, I was an instrument fitter.
Yep.
So instrumentation, and then we had a technical trade restructure where they combined electrical, radio, and instrumentation together. So all of a sudden I was an expert in radio and electrical, which I knew fucking nothing about. But
it happens.
yeah. So my trade was avionics technician.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of RAP aircraft out there where they listen to the radio through the altimeter.
That's right. Yeah. That's about it.
So I like to ask Cole, like, what was your reasoning behind wanting to join? Is it just Dad, or?
Well, it was more a circumstance where they came out and did their spiel, and that's what my dad did, so I just applied.
Yeah.
Like at that stage, I didn't have much of an idea what I wanted to do. Like 15-year-old kid.
Nah, you wouldn't.
No.
15-year-old kids don't know much these days, so
No.
I say we didn't know back then either.
Yeah. No. I wanted to finish year 12,
Yeah.
but this sort of opportunity came up, and that's the choice I made.
So like, how long were you actually in the Air Force for?
22 years.
Ah, right, 22 years.
Yeah.
And where were you based?
Well, our technical training was in Wagga.
Yep.
And then they sent me back to Townsville, which sort of pissed me off. And I found out later that was actually a typing error. I was supposed to go to Darwin, which was my first preference, go to Darwin, following what you should. And but I ended up in Townsville, and then Townsville. 4th of July 86.
Yep.
I posted to Canberra. So
you went from ridiculously hot to cold shit weather.
I didn't know to jump on.
No.
It was a shock. But Canberra was good. Like it was all on. Oh, was that you? Or did I get a bite?
No, I think you hit my elbow.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what it was. Canberra was good. We had a. The lifestyle, the military lifestyle, like there was a lot of pluses. Like the sports side of things really was good for me. I went in, all the lunchtime competitions, obviously, and the footy side of things. I had a pretty big rugby league sort of interest, and then with Canberra in 1990, got posted to Perth, which is one of the places I wanted to go. Cole was in Perth, so. He sort of told me all the good things about it, and unfortunately he was in Perth, got posted to Canberra, and then I was only there for a short time, and I got posted to Perth.
Yeah.
So I only had a bit of time there, and then I had 12 years in Perth, and then had a couple of years back in Brisbane before I finished my military career.
Uh-huh. So your brother got to WO 2 or WO 1? WO 2. What did you get?
I was a corporal.
You were a corporal?
I was a corporal.
So you Lance Corporal or full corporal?
Full corporal.
Oh.
We didn't, Air Force we don't have.
Oh, you don't have?
Half jacks.
So?
Half jacks.
Okay. So when you were in the Air Force, did you get deployed anywhere, or?
Not really. Like I was. My aircraft type that I worked on was light transport, like it was rotary, so I worked on helicopters and light transport.
Yeah.
And trainers.
Yeah.
So I was in in Townsville, I was on light transport and helicopters, and Canberra was helicopters again. And then went to Perth on the trainers. So I was on trainers there. Then went back to light transport also in Perth. I got deployed to East Timor. On the second round. And I flew into Dili. Now there's a bit of a story here. When I married quite young. My wife had a child. He was part of the business. And he was 6 when he was 5 when I met her. And probably like 6 when we got married. I got married at 22. There was only 14 years between us. So we got on really well. He was quite sporty and everything else, and he actually, he changed his name to our name so that the father wasn't on the horizon at all. And that we got to the point where like as I was retiring from footy, I was playing sort of Metro Cup, and he was 17, so we ended up playing Metro Cup together. I brought him up, and it was good. Like not a lot of fathers get the chance.
No, you don't, definitely not.
You get to play footy with your son. And then I encouraged him and helped him to get into the army. He got into the army and went into I can't think what the call was. Cole said the logistics. So he went through there, and then went to Townsville for his technical training. Same time he was there, that's when I went to Dili. Went to Dili on the peacekeeping there. Went there, landed in Dili. Was on the Caribou, and we decided Dili was the crew that was there said, look, Dili's too busy, you don't want to be here, so they moved over to Pacau. So we moved place over to Pacau, set up camp there, and for me, having been in the Air Force at that point for 15 years, whatever it was, to go to work with a loaded weapon on your shoulder, it's just surreal.
We always, you're on.
Sorry.
All right. We always put it down to that it was like high school, but you got to carry a gun.
So we moved to Pacau, got there, set up camp, and my section commander came and saw me. He said, Jeff, have you got a son in the army? I said, yeah. And he goes, is he based in Townsville? I said, yeah. I said, what's he coming here? I was thinking, fucking UBD I was going to serve with. He goes, oh no. He said, listen, can you go over to fucking wherever it was? He said, just go and see the Padre there. And I said, oh, you're right. So I did. I went to the Padre, and he was old crotchy old army fucking Padre. And went in there, and he says, he goes, sat me down, and he said, look, there's no easy way to say this. Your son's dead. And I said, what? He said, your son's dead.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. That I think that is one of my biggest ever fears, is to outthink you.
Well, he was pretty blunt, and the thing was we had two small younger kids. They were 8 and 10. My wife was in Perth on her own with that, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? What's going to happen here? I'm in fucking East Timor. So it was a bit of a shock. And it went like my wife. She sort of focuses on everything and like quite deeply. And for her, it was the army. So she blamed the army. And it may have had a part in it. But when we spoke to him, when he came out of Kabuka, he said, "Look," he said, I love this. I'm going to be in it for the rest of my life." He was loving it. Things may have changed when he got to Townsville, and there may have been a girl involved or something. We don't know. And there was other things. Now my wife focused on it, and she went pretty hard on the army. She took it to the chief of council. She just went, and she went to Labrac. She was chest poking. Chest poking everyone up there. They ended up. She said, "Look, there's nothing here to say about anyone that's died from Labrac.
No.
There was nothing there to say that they'd even been there. It was pretty we got a phone call from the chief of the army. There was Lay, I think, at that time.
Yeah.
And I think Cosgrove he'd gone on. No, he was chief defence force, and Lay may have been the chief of the army. And he said, look, well, we want to bring you up to Labrador. We've got some plans in place. So they flew up there, and they said, these are the plans we've got for Memorial. We'd like you to approve them. So she went through and had them in a different plan. And like, I'm not sure how long ago you guys were up there. But
I got out in 2010.
Yeah, well, that was there then.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like outside the fucking church.
Yep.
There's a memorial there, and anybody who's served at Labrador and has died while serving there, they've got a plaque there.
Oh, cool.
So that was one of the things she got. She's been through 3 Senate inquiries. Took it up that far. So it was. She did a lot of good work.
Yeah.
And a lot of the mental health, because it was very little in those days. Yeah. Like, and when Damien died, we found out later. He'd gone to a mate that night and said, and they were on the piss sort of thing. They're at the Boozer. Yeah. And his mate said, how you going? And he said, I'll just been up the hill up Mount Stewart. And he said, tried to hang myself, but I couldn't get the knot right. So he went to somebody else and told them, it ended up that that's what he ended up doing. That night. So a lot of education, and that's one of the points that we made to the military was that everyone had to learn this sort of thing, how to help their mates.
Yeah. You just got to look out for them signs, and if your mate's struggling, it doesn't take more than 2 minutes to help.
Oh no, that's right.
Have that conversation.
Yeah, and you just can't leave him.
No, fuck no. So that to yourself would be the hardest thing that you've experienced in the army?
Oh fuck yes. Yeah.
Which is
you're dealing with that. Nothing is.
No. So if you could go back and tell your younger self, would you still join?
I'm not in a bad position.
Yeah.
With what I've got from the military.
Yeah.
There's some things like I had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
There's I wasn't particularly focused on my career, obviously.
Yeah.
There was things that I really enjoyed. Like I had recruiting for 4 years. I loved it. I loved talking to people. I loved the selling. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was more the planning for leaving, because I was in for so long. That I didn't do well. So I got and F was a lot different to the army, where our promotions would come out July.
Yeah.
And then sometime between January and December, they could find you a spot and you'd be promoted into that spot. So it could be 18 months.
Yeah.
And in my case, I was in, they posted me to Sydney.
Yeah.
But I was going to Sydney. They didn't have a spot for me, so I was talking to our streamer. I said, well, where are you going to put me and that sort of thing? And he goes, I'm going to put you on 707s. And I thought, that'll be good. It's really good travel, good aircraft. And he goes, no, you're not experienced enough. I'll put someone on HDA. And I said, higher duties. I'll put someone else on higher duties. And I said, well, how can you do that? I said, obviously he's not qualified because he hasn't been promoted. Yeah. I'm promoted, then I should go into that spot. And he said, I can do what I like. He said, I can leave you here as a corporal for the next 12 months if I like and promote you on the 31st of December. I said, okay, no worries. And I walked out of there and put my discharge. So it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of my resettlement training. I'd done resettlement, but I hadn't seriously considered what did I want to do.
Yeah.
And I walked out of the military with no job. And
that in itself can be very daunting. Like for myself, when I got out, because when you're in the army, you get told what to do, where to walk, how to dress, everything, what to eat. And then when you get out, mate, it's just free for all. And next minute, you've got all this other shit happening and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you end up, some people don't like it, they get back in. No.
I was lucky, and I applied for the reserves.
Yep.
Air Force Reserves.
Yep.
And they said, we don't have a lot of vacancies. We can put you on as a general hand. I said, hey. And I said, no, fuck that. I never joined the reserves.
Yeah.
I ended up, and I've had some, a bit of a career change. I was accepted into Aussie Home Loans.
Yep.
As a contractor,
Yeah.
learned the job and became a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
So for 8 years, I moved on from Aussie pretty quickly and
Yeah.
went elsewhere. But it was something I was good at.
Yeah.
And then I got tired of that. I got tired of the paperwork and dealing with banks and lawyers and all the rest of the shit that goes with it. And one of my clients works doing the Foxtel satellite dish.
Yeah.
And I had a look at his figures because I was doing his home loan. And I said, fuck, this is all right. I thought I can do this shit.
Yeah.
So he helped me then. And I was doing the Foxtel side of things. So I did that, and from that it expanded on. And when they started the NBN, and all of a sudden we went from myself and one of my sons, then myself and both my sons. And then all of a sudden we took on 3 employees, so we had 6 of us.
Yeah.
And then we took on another 3, and we had 9 of us. And before we knew it, I had 20 odd staff.
Oh, right.
Pretty quickly. And then we started on the NBN side of
Yeah.
things, and we had to start again and learn. So we did the NBN thing, and which was good when it was good, but it was it was shut off. Like you finish your contract, bang,
Yeah.
that's it. It's finished. Find something else, and you got 20 guys out there you can try and find work for. So it was hard. And then more recently, as you know, I've gone back to working for someone else.
Yeah.
I'm still in the process of shutting my company down.
Yeah.
And started underground mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You enjoy it?
I love it. Yeah.
They say only crazies don't go to that.
Oh,
I tried to. They wouldn't let me go.
yeah. There's a broad range of people in underground. Hey.
So I guess the final question is, are you a folder or a scruncher?
Yeah, no, scrunching. No, actually, I've got a bidet.
Oh, you got a bidet?
Yeah.
Well, look, Jeff,
Hey.
I really appreciate you sharing that story with us, mate.
Yeah.
I really appreciate both you and Colin coming out today. But we better start making a move and try to beat this sunlight back across that bar.
Yeah, mate, thank you very much. It's been an awesome day.
Mate,
It's been a long time
you're
since
more
I've
than
been out here doing this, and geez, we've got a few nice
Big
fish.
D, we do have a few nice fish in there, and
Yeah.
we'll get them out when we get back, and we'll pick them out and show everyone. But at the moment, we've got to start making some tracks. So
All right.
thanks, guys. Guys, look, I really appreciate you coming out today. It was amazing. It was good to learn both your stories. That was, and especially for yourself, I'm sorry. That would be fucking tough, mate, to deal with. And I don't wish that even upon my biggest enemies. So,
No, I appreciate it. Like really good day out. And what you're doing, like it's a huge investment in your effort, your time, and as well, obviously financially. So thanks very much for the day, mate. It was awesome to get out there.
it was good. What we might do, Chris, and then we'll just get some, I'll give you hold that one. And Pearly.
Wow. We got a pearly.
Next one's a Pearly.
Oh, gotta say.
That's a pearly.
pearly.
That's a pearly.
That is a pearly. That's a pearler.
That's a pearl of
Got
pearl.
one? Yep.
That moves me fish.
That's got a fucking thing. What skills got me?
Oh.
I'll go down digging this one. Oh, wow. Lovely.
Yeah, underneath that, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, nice husky.
Now slap him with a fish. Is that still running?
Is he good?
Is that still running?
Yeah, of course it is.
Man, go on. Hurry up. Don't worry about Jono being in the way.
Oh, come on, man. Jeez.
Is that a prawn? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Good.
Awesome. And then just do a photo, Chris, with your phone.